Are you eating?
I'm having nachos.
We're doing the intro now. Coming up on the Unusable Podcast.
Devious dark patterns.
Deceptive sales techniques.
Xbox update rage.
Buying Chinese pants.
It was only once, and I sent them to a friend.
Welcome to the... Oh, I'm not going to do that.
That was good. Yeah, that was full of energy. I liked it.
I can't keep it up.
And then you just, for no apparent reason, stop.
I just can't keep up that level of energy. Welcome to the Unusable Podcast, where we discuss the importance of user experience in technology and the world around us. And we talk about great design that just works, or moan about it when it doesn't.
Always the latter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey Andy, what have you been up to?
Job. That's about it.
Did I throw you there?
Yeah. I wasn't expecting that.
Should we introduce ourselves? My name's David Ball, and I am a web developer and app developer.
I am Andrew Waite, and I am the product owner of a SaaS platform in Derby.
Okay, in this episode we're going to talk about dark patterns on websites and interfaces.
We should probably start by explaining what a dark pattern is.
Okay.
What do you think a dark pattern is?
Okay, I think a dark pattern is an interface that is intending to mislead someone into making an action that is in the benefit to the company rather than the individual who's using it. It might prevent you from doing something that you might want to, or it might flat out trick you into something bad.
Yeah. I've got this article that I read.
Okay, before you get into that, can I tell you about the Wikipedia definition?
Yeah, go on.
Which is, a definition of a dark pattern is a user interface that has been carefully crafted to trick users into doing things such as buying insurance with their purchase or signing up for recurring bills. That fits?
I think so, yeah. I think the core of a dark pattern is making someone do something that they otherwise might not have done. If you're the business owner, the website owner, whatever, you're getting some advantage out of tricking someone almost. It's like a trick, isn't it?
But wait, let's not get too carried away with that, because a website does exist for some purpose, and so just encouraging someone to do something or helping them to make a purchase is not necessarily a dark pattern, only if it tricks you in some way. So think about an e-commerce site. You're looking at a product that you're interested in, and the button to buy might be big, chunky, eye-catching.
But it's clear what's happening.
Yeah.
Even though it's drawing the user's attention, they still understand that by pressing that button, they're going to buy. They're not really being tricked.
So that it's an encouragement, and it's clarity. You're showing this is what you do next, but it's not tricking anyone. Whereas a dark pattern might be to sneak something into your basket.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a dark pattern. There's an article here which I think has some reasons that you might want to use a dark pattern, or people might use a dark pattern. So it's to make people spend money, to make people spend more money, to make people hand over more details than they otherwise would, or to make people agree to a statement that they otherwise wouldn't. So, for example, a cookie banner. You could use dark patterns there to try and make as many people as possible accept, even if they intended not to accept, for example.
Have you got any real-world examples?
There are so many real-world examples. So many we could talk about. One of the ones I saw the other day was a GDPR banner. So it popped up when I went to this website, and it said, "Do you agree to our use of cookies?" or whatever. There was a big agree button and a small, I can't remember, it was like other options or something. So I pressed it, which I don't think is a dark pattern. I think that's kind of calling the user's attention to the main CTA, and you've got...
Hang on, you just said CTA. You've got to explain what CTA is, because some people might not know.
Oh, that's a good point. So a call to action. So on a website, having a big red button or a big colourful button that you want the user to press, the primary action usually, that's called a call to action. I'm right? Yeah.
I think so, yeah. I would sort of say from the point of view of the user, though, it's what the user would press to get to the next step of something. So
typical example, you had one a second ago. So on a product page, the call to action would be add to basket.
Yeah.
Typically. And perhaps on a website about, for example, on our website about our products, if the user scrolls to the bottom, reads about our product and its features, but then at the bottom there's a button to say request a demo, and that's the call to action. That's what we want people to do. Once they've got to the end of the page, we want them to press the button, get in touch, and hopefully have a demo, and then buy it because it's amazing. But what was I can't remember what I was saying now. I said something about a CTA, and you thought we should do a definition. Yeah,
so you tell me about a CTA of something that you had an example of.
Oh yeah, so there's this cookie banner, and the big action was accept, as usually these things say, and there was other options. Was the alternative, which in itself is slightly, maybe it's a dark pattern, that there's such an imbalance in the buttons there.
Yeah, I see what you mean. One's really big and enticing, whereas the other just looks average.
One's the big, make this go away, because really as a user you might not want to share your details, but in that moment you might be like, I just want to access the article, so you just hit the big button that makes it go away.
I'm so torn about GDPR banners, because normally I just want the banner to go away so that I can carry on reading the article.
Yeah, but anyway, this isn't the dark pattern that I want to talk about. It was actually when you click other options, you then get a different panel, a different modal over the page, which gave you the different areas of cookies. And it said, they always say things like functional cookies, they say advertising cookies, the different things that they have. And next to each one was a toggle on-off switch. And the problem was the states on the switch were so ambiguous as to which was on and which was off. So I wanted to opt out of all these cookies, but...
Was it not on or off?
No, it was like it switched between two states that made it look like it was on. I wish I'd have taken a screenshot of it now, actually. But both states looked to me as if they were opt-in, and so I just had to guess. It wasn't clear.
Oh, that's annoying. So you think that they did that deliberately so that you made a mistake and gave them your details?
To be honest, some patterns like that, you're never sure whether there's a deliberate motive there or not.
They might just not have thought about it. Might have rushed the banner and not thought about it too hard. So yeah, they might not be evil. This is the thing. There's a difference between a dark pattern that's purposely there to trick you, or there might be one that's there maybe just as an anti-pattern. You know what I mean by anti-pattern?
I do, yeah. Do you know what? You wouldn't believe this, but I literally was just about to mention.
Oh my God. One mind.
I know. So I'm looking at an article right now, which is anti-pattern versus dark pattern. What they say is that an anti-pattern just doesn't work, whereas a dark pattern works for the party that it's intended to benefit. So that's one difference.
Are they saying an anti-pattern is a mistake or just bad design?
An anti-pattern probably doesn't work for anyone, whereas a dark pattern is intended to work for, it's been contrived essentially to work for one person.
So thinking about that product page where you had the add to basket button, an anti-pattern might be that the add to basket button is really hidden. It's not drawing attention to itself.
It's more of an error than it is a...
Yeah. It's not encouraging the user to click it, and actually the user might not be able to find it and then not make the purchase, which is bad for everyone. It's bad for the user who wants to buy the thing, and it's bad for the website owner who wants to sell the thing.
They then say that an anti-pattern is plain bad design, whereas a dark pattern exploits human weakness.
Okay.
An anti-pattern is usually poorly executed, whereas a dark pattern is carefully crafted.
Yeah. I have an example, and I watched a video today about some examples of dark patterns, and one that was picked up was that this guy was saying that Amazon.com, if you wanted to delete your account, it's very, very difficult to find. And he went through the steps of how to do that. It's not on your account page. You have to go to the help and then go through this long series of options that are not straightforward at all, and then eventually you get to a live chat and then you're able to delete your account. Now he was saying that that is a dark pattern because they're deliberately making it difficult for you to delete your account.
Yeah.
Whereas actually maybe it's just that option is not requested by too many people, and so they just haven't thought about putting it in a useful place in the interface.
No, I think as companies big as Amazon have analysed a lot there, and I think they're purposefully putting friction into the process. And I had something not quite the same but similar with Amazon recently. So I had an SD card that I'd ordered a few months ago from Amazon, and it became faulty.
Okay.
So at least under British law, you can return something within a time period if it's not fit for purpose or it becomes faulty.
Oh, it's not a customer affairs program. Get on with it.
So I needed to return this, and I was within my rights to return it. But if you go onto the Amazon website and go to your past orders and say, I want to return something, it'll say, okay, what do you want to return? And as soon as you I selected the SD card that I'd ordered not very long ago, certainly within the period that you should be able to return something in the UK if it's faulty.
Yeah.
It said, this item is no longer eligible for return because it's past the 30-day return window, and gave me a load of blurb about that. And there was no option in the interface to return it, despite the fact I knew I was well within my rights to return it.
Right.
What they're referring to there is that in the UK we have the distant... Oh God, this is a consumer affairs program, isn't it? In the UK we have the ability to return anything for any reason within a certain time period. So that's the time period they're quoting.
Yeah.
But if it's faulty, it's way longer than that. You get like, I think it's pretty much indefinite. It's whatever the consumer would expect it. Like most people say about a year for most things. But anyway, I had to contact them, and of course as soon as you contact them you get amazing customer service because it's an American company and they recognise customer service.
Well, it's just limited to America, is it?
No, but American tech companies in particular I think are pretty hot on a short-term loss to know that you're gonna keep buying from them.
Right. Okay. So you were able to return it.
I was able to return it once I'd spoken to one of their agents. Anyway.
But there was no option in the interface to do it. That's what you mean.
Well, more than that, there wasn't just not an option. I went to returns, I chose the item, and it said, you are not eligible to return this item. That's not just there's no option, it's literally telling me something that's wrong. And how many people who have something that's faulty would just accept that and go, oh, I can't return it anymore? You know, how many people does that deflect that would have otherwise returned something for a replacement or a refund?
I think I probably would have just given up at that point.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what they wanted you to do.
That's exactly what they want you to do. What I actually did was ended up contacting them, and it wasn't particularly difficult once I'd spoken to one of their people on a chat. But it did leave a bitter taste in my mouth, especially because Amazon make so many other things so frictionless. So I know it's within their power to make that returns process super straightforward. The only reason that they would do it that way is to assume that a certain percentage of people are just like you would just give up and not go any further.
I've got another story about Amazon. Have you ever tried to cancel Amazon Prime? Oh my God, they make that difficult.
I have, but I don't remember it being difficult.
The button, if you do it on a mobile,
yeah,
the buttons that they use, to get to the next step of the process, switch round. So they'll have.
Oh, that is a dark pattern.
So they'll have the big chunky button, which you think is progress, whereas that might not always be what you're wanting it to be. I should have probably got some screenshots when I tried to do it. But yeah, they switch around. In fact, another example of that was a game that I was playing a few days ago, and it had big chunky green buttons for the play. It had like start menu, big chunky green button for play level, finish the level, continue is big chunky green button again. And it continues like this. You associate big chunky green button with go to the next step.
Yeah.
But then it got to one part of the game where it wanted you to buy some gems or coins or whatever, in-game currency sort of stuff. And the button for buy the currency was big chunky green button, and the button to progress was a very small cross next to it. So they're obviously getting you
used to press the green button. But surely after you've pressed that green button, it's still going to pop up and say you're about to spend some money.
It is, yeah. But a lot of people will sort of blindly get to that process, and then they might go, oh, actually, maybe.
I wonder what impact that has on convert. It probably does convert better.
Yeah, but maybe.
I wanted to mention, I was booking some flights recently, and I booked a flight with an American airline, and an American version, I think, of like Ryanair or EasyJet. It's a budget airline called Spirit. Okay. And in their booking process, as you do when you're booking a flight, I chose where I was flying from and to on my dates and things like that. Then chose the flight that I wanted, and it gave me a price at that point. It said, this is going to be, I don't know, $100 for the flight. I thought I'd then added that to my basket, went through the whole process, added my details in, and then all of a sudden it was charging me like $300-400, and I was really confused because the price I'd seen at the front when I'd chosen the ticket was $100, and all of a sudden I've got to the checkout and it's $300-400. I thought, am I mistaken? Have I got something wrong here?
Right.
So what had happened, and I think what I'm going to do is actually just show you this because
no, you've got to describe it for the audio podcast.
Okay, well I am going to describe it.
Right.
But I feel like I'd like you to see it. Okay, so I've done a search on Spirit's website for the flight. Okay.
Oh, you're going to Orlando?
I am actually going to Orlando.
All right. Okay.
So let's say it doesn't matter. We're just going to pick this first option here. This is $72.19 for this flight.
Best price.
It's the best price. Okay. I assume that's out of the options flying on that day. That's the cheapest one. Yeah. So okay, it looks like they're trying to make it cheaper for us. So I'm going to scroll to the bottom and click continue. Okay.
Okay.
And so this is what threw me. All right. Okay. And so just so you know, I'm obviously working the web. I'm used to these sorts of things. I'm quite consumer savvy, and this threw me, and I had to go back to the start of the process and start again. So at this point, it gives you, remember we just saw a price of $70-something.
Yeah.
It then gives you these options. It says the Thrills combo saves you up to $120, and it gives you all these extras. So as is normal with, you're pretty used to it in the UK with like Ryanair. It'll say, do you want the super speedy boarding extra package or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, and you can either take it or you don't. Okay, but in this in this particular case, it says the Thrills combo saves you $120, and then it's got a blue continue button saying $9 Fare Club $68.99 or standard $86.99.
Hang on, why is the standard a different price to the previous screen?
Right, so this is I didn't notice at the time because I think the price was closer to $80-something for the original flight.
I think a lot of people would just press continue, wouldn't they?
Right, so I looked at this and thought, right, $9 Fare Club, I assume that means I've got to sign up for something, so I don't want to do that. So what I want is standard. I'll pay a bit extra and go for standard because I'm not joining your club. I'm never likely to fly Spirit again.
Fine.
I'm not going to to join the club.
But what happens if you press that?
What happened is I went, no, I'll go for standard.
Okay,
which is, you're right, is more than we originally saw.
Yeah.
Okay. What that actually does is adds on $86.99 to the $70 we saw before.
What?
Yeah. And includes all these extras like booked seat, carry-on bag, checked bag, all these other stuff, right? If you don't want either of these options and none of these things, you have to use this tiny text at the bottom that says, no thanks, I'll add on separately.
What? That's tiny.
Yeah, but worse than that, it makes it look like these are the two options that it's making you pick from.
Yeah.
You either have $9 fare club or standard. And of course, most people go, I just want standard, right? But that doesn't mean...
That is so sneaky.
That doesn't mean standard. It means the standard upgrade package.
Sneaky.
So this is so sneaky, like I said, that I fell foul to this. And I got all the way through to the end of it. I even put in my credit card details in, and then I was like, hold on a minute, this shouldn't be like $300 or something.
Did it give you like an itemization that showed this standard additional thing that's added on?
I don't remember. I don't think it did. Not in a very particularly obvious way. And I then actually went back to the start and thought, that can't have been right. I'm going to go through the process again. And only when I went through a second time did I realise I'd completely missed the tiny no thanks, I'll add on separately. That is shocking dark pattern, isn't it?
That's definitely there to deceive you.
Yeah.
Okay, there's another example of this, and it was Ryanair. And I don't know if this is a current thing. I saw this on a video today because
Are you on about the classic Ryanair travel insurance one?
Yeah.
I love that one. That is a classic. I don't think you're right. I don't think they still do it.
But it was highlighted in a talk that I saw at a conference, and that's what made it stick in my mind. So you're doing the same thing. You're booking a flight on Ryanair's website, and so there was these two fields where it asks for your first name, last name, and the country that you're coming from. But actually, there's some small print that says that this is going to add travel insurance if you select the country that you're travelling from. But what you actually have to do to opt out of that is to choose the option that says no thanks, or I think it says...
Don't insure me. I've got it in front of me now, yeah.
Okay, yeah. But that's between...
Denmark and Finland. Yeah, you have to scroll through and find don't insure me.
So many people used to filling in a form like that and choosing their own country.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think to look for...
Especially because the placeholder or the default option text in there is please select a country of residence.
Yeah.
So you read that and you just go, and especially because they put all the major countries at the top as well. So like UK, they're all at the top. So most people in the UK are just going to click on the box and go, oh yeah, UK.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But of course you have to scroll right down the full list of... In fact, it's particularly obvious that it's deliberate when you see it on this. Is this the same picture that you're looking at? Because I know they revised it over the years. I think they did various versions of it.
The screenshot that I saw today had it between the countries Latvia and Lithuania, not even alphabetical.
Wow.
So you wouldn't even look that far down the alphabet
for
something that starts no travel insurance.
Clearly deliberate, clearly designed to trick people into buying something that they otherwise would not have done.
I've got another example. So quite a few years ago, I was talking my dad through on the phone how to download something. I can't remember what it was, maybe antivirus or something like that. And so I couldn't see what he was seeing, and he was using this website. And I say, okay, go to this web address, press the download button. And he goes, okay, there's 3 download buttons. Which one is it? And now he was looking at the adverts banners, and those advert banners said something download, and it had a button, a big chunky button, but it was inside this advert. And because...
That's really common on download sites, or used to be. I don't know if I've not seen it for a while, actually. But then I don't go to download sites often anymore.
Probably.
But yeah, like CNET was always a classic one for that.
Yeah.
CNET. Is it CNET downloads? Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah. They'd have like, I don't know, you'd want to download was it 7-zip? There was like a WinRAR, something stupid like that.
Yeah.
It would take you there, and there'd be like, the actual download button would be somewhere quite small actually, and then above, to the left, to the right, and below would be these horrible sort of banner ads which would say something about downloading something else, and then a big flashing download button.
Yeah, but the actual download button that you needed was a tiny little text link in the middle. Yeah.
Sketchy dark patterns. Do you think with all these dark patterns, do you think it's ever right to use a dark pattern?
Okay, I'm torn about this because I am a web developer. I am tasked with making interfaces. Luckily, nobody has, I don't think, ever in my career come to me and said, make this dodgy thing that will trick people, because I would say no, and I would never do that. But obviously, I am making functional websites for businesses.
You want it to be functional and work for the business, right? You want, if it's designed to sell something online, you want them to sell that thing online. You want them to be successful. And
if it's a standard, if it's a brochure website for a company, I want to make sure that that website is working for them and getting them conversions. And when I say conversion, I mean
sales.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it's that fine line that it's not just on the web. It's the fine line between selling something that's useful to them and exploiting them. It's like, nobody has a problem with, Tesco selling in a fair way to people, whereas a sleazy double glazing salesman that talks his way into old people's house and then replaces their entire double glazing that they don't actually need replacing is kind of not okay. I think it's the same thing on the web, really. I think that any dark pattern that's tricking people is really not okay.
Oh, we need to do a shout out to our new Twitter followers, by the way.
Oh, can I say hello to each of them as you read them out?
If you want to.
Okay.
How do they say hello back?
By tweeting us to, well, they know what.
Hashtag hello.
Yeah.
Tweet us with hashtag hello.
Maybe. Yeah, go on. Whatever.
That doesn't make sense. Jane Kelly.
Hello.
James Dean.
Hello. James Dean?
Yeah. I know him.
Wow.
Not that one.
Okay.
Katie and Shock.
Hello.
That's Jake.
I know that's Jake, yeah.
Edward Finn.
Hello.
Ruthie Haas. I don't know how you pronounce her last name.
Oh,
I know her from
hello.
the writing club.
Anyway.
Bedekian.
Hello.
He's an arcane druid.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
Matt Walls.
Hello.
Carl Smith.
Hello.
Laurie Yallow.
Hello.
Laurie Yarrow.
Hello.
Did that go well?
I think so, yeah. I don't know if this is really offensive, but that last name sounds like a tongue twister if you say it over and over again.
Laurie Yarrow.
Laura Yallow. I can't do it. Try and say it more than twice.
I couldn't even say it once. That's why I had to do it
Try
again.
and repeat it. It goes wrong.
Laurie Yarrow. She probably says it a lot.
Laura Yarrow. Laura Yarrow. Laura Yarrow. Laura Yarrow. Laura Yarrow. Laura Yarrow. Okay, I can actually do it, but it's hard. It's like red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry. Tough. Hard. Anyway. Have we just offended one of our few Twitter
make
followers?
Make a podcast
really
all
sorry.
about Laura Yarrow. Sorry, Laura.
Hello, anyway. Thanks for listening.
Are you going to tell us about your new favourite website?
Yeah, so I think in a way, did this not inspire the topic this week when we first started?
Maybe.
So I've recently become obsessed with an app, some people may be familiar with, some maybe not, called Wish. Kind of high, like top of the App Store.
I see the adverts a lot.
Well, I saw it for a long time. If you just go and browse for different apps on the Google Play Store.
Yeah.
It's been like number in the top 5 for a while, and I've always ignored it because it looks like some kind of spam thing.
I know, it looks dodgy. It looks so dodgy.
Yeah.
I see it on Facebook or Instagram, and they'll have these adverts for products, because probably should explain what it is. It's a marketplace.
Yeah, it's an app that you can buy things on. Okay,
so they highlight these products, but the ones that they show are always really strange. And I think it's because they're the sort of products where you need to know more. You need to...
It's clickbait.
It is clickbait. Because there'll be some strange device and I'll be like, what is that? What can I possibly use that for? And I want to click through to see the other pictures and to see the description and to see what actually it is and why I need it. I probably don't need it. It's just some tat. But it looks interesting.
Yeah. That's actually, I've fallen foul of this. And the problem is when you actually get the app itself, so all you get in the app is what they say popular, right? Which basically is just an endless scroll of rubbish. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
And the thing is, as soon as you start tapping on things, it then personalises that list to things that it thinks you might like. So say you tap on a watch, for example, because you think that looks cool.
Well, I first went on there and I looked at some socks that were meat socks. Right, so if you really want your feet to look like meat, you can wear these socks. But now it keeps showing me socks. And it even has notifications and sends me emails saying there's some more socks to buy.
Yeah.
They are relentless.
Yeah, so going to what you said a second ago about seeing the advert and you were like, what is that? I need to know more. So I saw this really weird pair of pants when I first got the app.
Underpants,
yeah. Not American pants, but British underpants.
Unless you're from Lancashire.
Wow, what do Lancashire people say?
Pants.
For trousers?
Some people.
Okay. Anyway, so I tapped on these pants because it was just one of these things where you say, you kind of like squint and turn your head to the side and you're like, what is that? And I thought I must find out what it is. And I can't even remember specifically what they were, but I had a look and then I was like, weird, and then went back. But then because I looked at pants...
This is a very long way of saying you were looking at some erotic men's pants.
Well, the problem is because I
Just admit it!
Because I tapped on one pair of pants that were quite dubious.
Were they see-through?
I can't remember.
It
They
advertised
might have
some
had
see-through men's pants to me
they
the
might
other
have had a
day,
bit of a pouch.
and I don't know
But the
why I
problem
need
is,
them.
because I tapped on it once, it then kept going, oh, he likes pants, I'm going to show him just more pants. And so my feed for ages was just full of these pairs of weird and wonderful... there was some really weird sort of pouch pants.
Oh, you've shown me.
Zippy pants and...
Very tight, very revealing.
Men's lacy pants.
Like a sort of sock for your bits.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But the reason I'm bringing this up now, anyway, is that I think, anyway, we can maybe discuss this, that this app does employ a lot of dark patterns to make you buy.
I agree with you, but I think that because you're willingly falling for all of these, it's less of a dark pattern, more of just a little bit of a friendly nudge. Or it's clever marketing.
Let me go on a particular product. So I'm looking at a watch right now.
Okay.
And at the bottom in orange, there is a buy button, okay? And I have no problem with that. That's a prominent call to action. Fine. I would expect that. I choose whether to press it or not. But then if I go slightly further down in there is this thing that says buy with other shoppers. So buy with other shoppers to get the lowest price. These people are waiting to purchase the item with you. So it's like a group buy. So if 2 people buy the item, they each get 10% off.
It was group buying underpants.
I'm not looking at underpants, I'm looking at a watch.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry.
Anyway, it says buy with Carly.
Do you know Carly?
No.
What?
It's someone else who wants to buy this item and has said, I'll buy it with 10% off if someone else buys it with me at 10% off. Right?
Oh, is this because it's shipped from China?
I think it's just to get people to buy stuff. I don't think it has any bearing really on the...
How have they turned shopping into a multiplayer game?
I don't know. But the thing that I object to anyway is the timer that's next to it.
Oh, putting a bit of pressure on.
So it's a completely arbitrary 1.5 hour deadline to buy this item with Carly. And if I don't buy it within that 1.5 hour deadline, then I don't get to buy it at £17 and 10p. I have to pay £19.
I was going to say this earlier. Booking.com uses this quite a lot. They will make it look like there's limited availability on things. And maybe there is. But if you don't buy now, you might miss out.
I've noticed that before. They'll have like the little pop-up banners that say, someone just booked this.
They're
very good at that.
It makes you think, oh, I really need to book it now. Otherwise, I'll lose my spot.
Yeah. So I've clicked add to my basket. And now it's got a different timer. So originally I had 1.5 hours to buy with Carly.
Okay.
I've clicked buy. I've chosen the colour of watch strap that I want. And now it says, hurry! Check out soon to lock in this price. And it's counting down from 45 minutes. So a minute ago I had an hour and a half and now I've only got 45 minutes.
For what? For the discount?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know where the other 45 minutes that I'd got has gone.
Right.
It seems to me like it's complete and utter rubbish.
Just made it up.
It then pops up quite jokingly and says, congratulations, you've saved £450.
Hey, what?
Because they have this clearly ludicrous like original price that it's been discounted from. So the price at the bottom says £469, strike through £19. So
Whoa!
So what they're trying to claim is that this really cheap tapped watch that's going to get shipped directly from China was originally worth £469, which is just ludicrous.
Yeah. Wow.
So then I go to the actual shopping cart, and this is really subtle. I actually quite like this. The checkout page has at the bottom a slide to pay.
What do you mean?
So rather than a press to pay, you have to like swipe your finger across it.
Why?
Just to confirm the purchase. Like you just.
Oh, like unlocking an iPhone.
Yeah, in a way, actually, a slide can't be as easily be done accidentally like a button press. So in a way, that's kind of a good thing for the user.
Okay.
But I quite like the fact that they like just have this little nudge like that. Like
oh, it's bouncing.
It's got
bouncing to draw attention to
a little animation so that you kind of want to press it. It looks eager to go.
Or that's just quite useful to know that you slide it rather than press it, because some people might just be pressing it.
I think that's fine. I think that's okay. I think I'm okay with that.
But the animation does make it very clear.
Yes, it does. Anyway, sometimes what happens, I'm going to see if it happens this time. It doesn't always happen. If you look at the shopping cart with an item in it and then say go back, which I've done before because I want to add something else to the shopping cart.
Yeah.
But it will say check out now for an extra 5%, and this deal is only available now. Let me see if it does that now. Oh, it does. It's not done it this time. But sometimes it will say if you buy now, we'll give you an extra 5% off, but only right now.
Oh, again, just nudging you,
just to get you to buy it. Yeah.
But is that a dark pattern? They're giving you something good. They're giving you a discount, a 5% discount. That's great.
So,
I don't think that's a deceiving dark pattern.
I don't know. It maybe isn't a dark pattern, but it's definitely sleazy.
It's encouragement.
Because
enticement.
It reminds me of, there's been a few situations in the past where either I've had work done on my house or my parents have had work done on their house. And you get someone to come into your house to like show you something like, I don't know, a double glazing or a kitchen or whatever, and they'll run you through it.
Yeah.
And more than once, there's a sales tactic they use and they say, oh, this is the price. And it'll be like, I don't know, some quite high amount, right?
Yeah.
But they'll use some kind of rubbish narrative like, I've just spoken to my manager and there's a slot come up in the factory for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or for next week, but we really need to get it confirmed. But because it's a last minute slot, we'll offer you a discount of like 30% if you agree today. But the slot, if you don't agree today, the slot's going to be gone, and then it's going to be full price. Okay,
it's the same thing, isn't it?
It's like that, and it's fairly obvious to me, at least, that sales technique is not genuine. In the situations where I've seen it deployed on double glazing, I do not believe for 1 minute that they basically added a bit onto the price to start with. Then they've gone, if you agree now, we'll take 30% off. But really, that was the price that it was going to be in the first place anyway. They've just added this imperative to make you sign when you might otherwise not have signed. It's to add that pressure.
So obviously you disagree with this deception and you've not bought anything from Wish, right? Is that true?
It's not true, no. It's so addictive. It's like a cross between Facebook, eBay, and Poundland. Okay. So it's a marketplace like eBay. So you're buying from other sellers, and I think they're all in China. So all the stuff ships directly from China. It takes months to arrive, by the way. Anything you buy takes months. It's like Poundland in the sense that it's mostly cheap. Sorry, I shouldn't be so nasty to Poundland really, but it's mostly kind of low price rubbish.
Poundland items are literally a pound. It is cheap. I don't think you can offend them by saying it's a pound.
I don't know. I'm kind of implying that it's poor quality, which I'm sure some Poundland's not. A lot of Poundland stuff.
I go to Poundland. It's fine.
Yeah. But you know what I'm trying to describe that category of product that's like low price. You don't expect too much. It's just piece of plastic rubbish, right?
Yeah.
But the way in which it's like Facebook is that all of the pages are like this endless scroll, and they get you lost in it, and you get lost in it, and it's almost like gamified to make you keep coming back. It's very tricky, I think, is how I describe it.
Tell me about the Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, right. So every day it pops up a notification and says, today Blitz Buy, you've got another chance. So every day it pops up and says, you're only allowed to do it once a day.
Right.
I've already done it today, of course. I can't do it again. And what you get is this kind of like Wheel of Fortune spin.
What?
Yeah, and it spins around, and then all it's deciding is how many items it's going to show you at a special discounted price.
But I assume this isn't random. I assume they are completely in control of what offers they're giving to you.
Oh, of course, yeah. And then what it will do is it will pop up and say you've got... The spinner is literally only to decide how many things they're going to show you.
Oh, okay.
And it does seem random. It does just randomly pick, I'm going to show you 100 things, 10 things, 20 things, 50 things, 75 things. And then what it does is it shows you that number of things. And again, it's obviously decided based upon what you've looked at before and bought before, what those things are going to be. And it just really takes 10% off. But again, it adds a time imperative as well, though. It says you must add these things to your basket in 10 minutes. It gives you this 10-minute countdown. All these countdowns that I've talked about, it's literally ticks down really obviously. It's going like, 59 seconds, 58 seconds. It really obviously ticking down.
Yeah.
It puts it on the screen. It puts that clock on the screen to add the imperative.
Does it have dramatic music while it does it?
It doesn't have dramatic music, no. I mean, the thing is as well that's weird is you can always get a discount coupon.
Does that mean the price is marked up most of the time?
I think so, yeah. If you can basically always find a discount coupon and take the price down, then the original price was never the actual selling price. If you were always giving a discount, then it's a bit like what I said about the double glazing. If there's always the discount, then what you've actually done is taken the price you were willing to sell it for, inflated it to make it seem... and inflated it so you can later discount it to make it seem a better deal. And that's...
Dodgy.
Well, it's actually illegal in the UK. Shops have to have things at full price for a certain amount of time before you can't just immediately put something on your shelves and say half price. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah,
that's against the law in the UK, and places have actually fallen foul of that. You've
been fined, I suppose.
Yeah, but I think that leads to weird sketchy things though. Like they'll literally have one shop stock it for a few months. They know they're going to want to run a summer sale in June. They'll have from February to, I don't know, whatever the month before June is, May. From February to May, they'll have it in one shop at full price, but don't expect to sell any because they know it's a super inflated price. Just so in the June sale they can say half price, but really that's just the price they were going to sell it for anyway.
Dodgy.
Yeah.
Okay, can we tell people that we've got some bonus videos on our YouTube channel that they can look at?
Could we do it in a dark pattern way?
You've only got 20 days to see these YouTube videos, and they've already been added to your basket. Okay, go to the YouTube channel now. Right now. Has to be now. Okay, back to dark patterns.
So you know that I said sometimes when you add something to your basket and then try and leave, it says 5% off if you buy now.
Right.
Well, are you distracted?
I'm looking at Wish. I want some meat socks.
The other thing that it sometimes does is when you go to the checkout page, it will say, check out now and we'll give you 20% off. It looks like it says we'll give you 20% off your next order. But it actually says up to 20% off your next order, okay?
Up to? Well, anything could be up to.
Exactly. So what happens is, I've done this before. I've gone, oh, okay, well if I check out now, I was planning on buying something else later, so yeah, I'll check out and I'll get 20% off that next thing that I know I want. So that's great, I'll do that. And then it comes through and says, congratulations, you've unlocked 5% off your next order.
You've unlocked. You've leveled up.
Yeah.
This really is a game.
It is. It's totally gamified, yeah.
I've just looked on my phone and it's giving me a daily login bonus.
Yeah, you get that as well, yeah.
I've logged in 2 days in a row and I got a bonus.
Yeah.
I've seen this in games. I've seen this in games. I've never seen it on a shopping app.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It is game logic applied to cheap rubbish shipped directly from China.
If I log in 8 days in a row, I get up to 50% off.
Yeah, up to 50% off.
That could be 1% off.
Yeah. It'll be 10% off. The most they ever give you is 10% off.
Oh.
I've never had any more. I've been using this app for a couple of months now and never more than 10%.
It's showing me really weird stuff. I've got dinosaur watches. I've got underpants as well.
Yeah.
Some sort of bum bag, or Americans would call it fanny pack, that looks like a belly.
Oh, I saw those. Yeah,
that's awful. Yeah. Why would you want that? Yeah. Oh, there's the underpants that really snug your bits. That really grip your bits.
Okay. Are they the ones that are like a sock?
I don't want to look at it for too long, to be honest. Candles that go in your ear? Who needs those? Who needs an ear candle? A Christmas jumper that's got Donald Trump on it? Nobody needs that. Ooh, there's a robot vacuum cleaner that was £140, now is £16.
That's going to be total rubbish.
Yeah. You can buy 100 maggots for £1.
Okay.
Oh, also something that's called sex perfume.
Lovely.
This is a dodgy website. And also, if you really want, for £15, you can buy some leggings with Nicolas Cage's face all over them.
That's Christmas sorted.
Also, commemorative coins of a dog doing a poo.
I turned on a hotel TV when I was travelling a short while ago.
Yeah.
And the TV had a progress bar and spent about a minute to turn on.
It had a progress bar? What's it doing?
I don't know. I've never turned on a TV before and been greeted by a progress bar. I assume because it's a hotel TV, it was like loading their special channel management system thing that tells you about the restaurant and all that kind of nonsense.
Does it do that every single time?
I don't know, maybe each time someone stays, I don't know.
Let's say it together. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Bad usability nightmares.
That was terrible. Go on, carry on.
So is this the new name for bad usability of the week, whatever we
No one cares what it's called.
Right,
Just get on with it.
So I've got a gripe with Microsoft Xbox One.
I thought you were saying Microsoft XP. You're a bit late.
No, so I occasionally like to play racing games on my Xbox.
Oh, hang on. Xbox One.
Xbox One.
The first Xbox.
No.
No.
Not the first Xbox. The first Xbox is Xbox.
Right.
And then the second Xbox was Xbox 360.
Of course.
They skipped the 359 versions. And then the third one is called Xbox One.
Of course it is.
Yes, right. Okay, so now we've got past the naming problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, so occasionally I want to play a game. It's kind of infrequent. Sometimes I've got lots of stuff going on. You know, we're recording the podcast, family stuff. I mean,
why? You'd have to justify it.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'll come to the Xbox and I'll just have an hour to play. I'll turn the Xbox on, And the first thing I'll get is, in order to play this game, we just need to download an update before you can play it. And I go, oh, whatever, okay. And then it says, the size of the update is 20 gigabytes. You're like, what?
20 gigabytes?
What's going on, right? And then it will sit with a progress bar, and my internet's fairly fast, but...
A lot of people don't have that great internet.
No.
And 20 gigabytes could take a long time to
Yeah.
download.
Yeah, I mean, not all the updates that big. That's probably the biggest that there's been. But there've been gigabyte-sized downloads that it's done. That's an update.
I know what you mean. I had a game on PlayStation, which is the Lego Dimensions. Occasionally that'll download gigs and gigs of new game data.
Yeah.
Just before you can play it, which is quite frustrating.
Yeah, the frustrating thing for me is because I'm an infrequent player, what happens is quite often I will get just an hour or so, go to the console, it says I need an update, and then you have to either sit there or go away and do something, right? And by the time it's completed its update, my window for playing that game has gone, right?
Yeah.
So I then have to leave it, okay? And then I come back in another few weeks, turn the console on, and it says, we just need to do an update. And so you end up in this cycle of every time you try and play it needing an update.
That's really annoying.
The most annoying thing for me is that, like most modern electronic devices, computers, it doesn't ever properly turn off, okay? When you press the off button, it goes into like a standby state.
Yeah.
So what I want to know is, why is it not checking for updates in the middle of the night when I'm never using it?
Right.
Applying those updates automatically. Why can I not say, okay, I just consent to all updates ever, right? I don't, as long as there's nothing you need extra permission for, or you're not going to do anything sketch, just update automatically, right?
Yeah.
Why isn't it that I turn it on and it goes, great news, last night there was a 20 gig update, I've applied it for you. Off you go and play the game, right? Why doesn't it do that?
Yeah.
Why is it, maybe there's an option that I'm not aware of. I could be making a complete fool of myself here, and someone's going to tweet us and say, oh duh, if you go into the settings, there's a... Which my response to that is, why isn't that the default? Or why hasn't it prompted me to, if that is an option, why hasn't it prompted me to enable it? It's so frustrating. Why isn't it overnight automatic? At least it could, even if it needs permission, it could download and cache the update overnight, and then all it's got to do when I click OK is apply it. That's better than nothing.
Is this a Microsoft thing? Because I remember when I had a Windows PC, it would start downloading updates, sometimes automatically overnight, and then restart the computer, which if I'd left some work unsaved and open would be really annoying, because it could...
that was annoying. Was that on XP or...
I think it was XP.
Yeah, I remember that. Especially because we both work in the web, I had the same problem. You'd leave your graphics package open or your editor open at a specific point, and you'd think, it's okay, I'm going to go, leave that, I'll come back tomorrow, it'll all be fine. And then you'd come back and all you would see in the morning was your desktop and a little bubble that says, great, we've installed all these updates for you automatically, and it would have just forced shut down your machine and lost everything.
Yeah, so if you've got something like Photoshop open, which as far as I know doesn't autosave,
it probably didn't back then, even if it does now,
it would just lose everything that you had open. So annoying.
Yeah, and that's why I don't use Windows.
Such a Linux snob. Okay, we are near the end of the podcast. If you've enjoyed this, there is plenty more. In the last episode, we talked about the history of computer user interfaces and a thrilling story by Andy trying to use a parking machine.
It's a classic.
If you've seen or used something unusual recently, we want to hear about it. We do.
Yeah.
We honestly do, because it's just funny to talk about. You can email us at podcast@theunusable.com, and we're on Twitter at Unusable Podcast, and YouTube at Unusable Podcast,
I think so.
Music is by Gold5472. Please subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts, and also YouTube, because I just like YouTube. And that's it until next time. Bye!
Bye!